I'm Semur Mamedov. Today we are going to discuss American questions, the presence of Russian peacekeepers in Karabakh. My guest today is Stephen Blank, a senior fellow at the Foreign Policy Research Institute. Stephen, thanks so much for being with us. My first question, Stephen, several days ago, a telephone call took place between U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Azerbaijani President Ilham Aliyev. What, in your opinion, can you expect from U.S.-Azerbaijan relations after this call?
Well, the fact of the call is important, although the content of the call was not released. Hopefully, it means that the United States wants to resume playing an important role in the diplomacy, not just over Karabakh, but in general in the Caucasus. Because for the last two administrations, and that goes back 12 years now, for the United States has essentially been absent from the Caucasus. It has not really participated in what's going on in the Caucasus. And this is not just the Nagorno-Karabakh controversy and the war, but also with regard to a lot of other issues. And the fact of this call, plus one might argue the recognition by President Biden of the fact of a genocide in 1915 against Armenians, indicates that the United States may now want to play a role in the Caucasus.
Yes. Stephen, how does the United States see its further role in the settlement of the Armenian-Azerbaijani conflict within the framework of the OSCE Minsk Group?
Well, there's been no public statement that would answer your question, so we have to speculate here. And of course, we could be wrong, but the Minsk Group includes the United States as part of its charter. Now, there are many issues that came out of the war last fall that have not been resolved and that the Minsk Group may well need to help resolve in order to bring about a true peace. Because what we have now is not really peace, but essentially an armistice or a truce. There is no sign that Armenia is reconciled to the outcome of the war. Russia will probably try to find an excuse to keep peacekeepers there long after the agreement has to bring them in has ended. And therefore, the United States may be trying, by virtue of its membership in the Minsk Group, to find a role for itself in helping to resolve the issues that are still outstanding in Nagorno-Karabakh between Armenia and Azerbaijan.
Yes. Stephen, how does the United States see the future of this region, I mean Karabakh, taking into account the deployment of Russian peacekeepers there?
Well, again, we've not had any kind of statement from Washington that would answer this question. But I suspect, and I have to emphasize, this is an informed guess, that I don't think Washington is too happy to see Russian peacekeepers there. But there has to be an alternative if we're going to make progress from the United States point of view in bringing the United States back into the area as a recognized participant in discussions in the Caucasus. So, for example, if you take out the Russian peacekeepers, with whom do you replace them? The OSCE? The United Nations? By no means clear. And since Russia is a member of the Minsk Group, would they support anything like that? I don't think so. Again, it's impossible to say what the United States vision is, but the fact of the phone call, I would say the fact of the declaration about the genocide, indicate that the United States may be interested in resuming a place in the Caucasus. But we don't know what that place would be and what U.S. policy on the outstanding issues regarding Karabakh would be.
But Stephen, USA did not an active role in the context of the OSCE Minsk Group, I mean, in the Karabakh War.
Well, that's true.
Yes.
And the Biden administration may have come to understand that that's a shortcoming in our policy, a mistake, which they are now trying to correct to the best of their ability. That's what I think is going on here. But they have not shown us what they're really thinking about the Caucasus in terms of specific answers to the really difficult and complex questions that need to be addressed if there's to be peace.
Stephen, 900 civils amendment to the Freedom Support Act is temporarily suspended this year as well. In your opinion, is the possibility of the complete elimination of Amendment 907, which causes serious damage to relations between the United States and Azerbaijan, is being considered?
I wish I could say yes, but I don't think so. And that has to do with American domestic politics more than anything else, because we have, and I've discussed this with Azerbaijan officials. We have an Armenian lobby here, which is quite active and legally able to advance its cause and assert its influence. And there are several members of Congress who agree with their cause. And the Armenian diaspora is, if anything, perhaps more militant than the Armenian government on many of these issues, partly probably because they don't have to be responsible politicians, and they're sitting in California or wherever, and they don't have to assume the burden of responsible decision. But as long as there are members of Congress, and I would add important members of Congress, who are supporters of the cause raised by the Armenian diaspora in the United States, I don't think Section 907 will be repealed. I think the best you can hope for right now is that it be some overall progress on the larger issues of Nagorno-Karabakh. This could actually work to Armenia's benefit. I mean, I think it's clear to anybody who looks at this issue that whenever that happens, when peace is reached, whenever Azerbaijan and Armenia sign a formal peace treaty that resolves the issue of Nagorno-Karabakh once and for all, and that's not going to happen anytime soon. But once that happens, it would mean that Armenia and Azerbaijan can have economic relations with each other, which benefits Armenia, because Armenia has been excluded from pipelines, railways, and other major economic projects, and this hurts the Armenian economy. The same thing is true with the Turkish blockade of the Armenian economy, which hurts Armenia again. Because once peace comes about between Azerbaijan and Armenia, whenever that happens, there is no reason for Turkey to continue to have what is essentially an act of war.
Yes.
But for the moment, because this transportation network or route will allow Azerbaijan and Turkey to have direct contact, Armenia is upset about it. But again, it is opening a possibility if foreign statesmen can persuade both Baku and Yerevan that it is necessary to move to either resolve the issue of Nagorno-Karabakh once and for all, or to find a way to put this into a larger context so that it can be resolved by other means short of war. So war will not be the answer here again in the future. And if we are able to achieve that, and this gets back to you potentially to an American and maybe greater European role in the area, then it becomes possible to negotiate a peace settlement, and this road would actually become an incentive for economic growth and development in Armenia, and for peace between Armenia and Azerbaijan that would benefit both sides.
Mm-hmm. Stephen, thank you so much for joining us.